Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic comes from Baker V. I know that winning Academy Awards can lead to bigger revenue for movie producers, but I guess even just getting nominations can do that too. Did you see that after being on iTunes and other streaming services, Everything Everywhere All at Once has jumped all the way up to the number 4 spot and even increased its price for rental and purchase? They're saying it's never really been done before. Why do you think this movie is getting so much more of a boost from their nominations than other films?
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Baker. And of course, you guys know for most of the year, my favorite film of the year was Everything Everywhere All at Once. Ended up being my number 2 overall, only behind Fabelmans for me. But the movie is a remarkable achievement. I love this film. And slowly but surely, more and more people have been catching on. And you're right. The reason that a lot of studios and whatever will put a lot of money into like Oscar and awards campaigns is because a nomination and some wins can actually turn into dollars if you get it. And a great example of that, even before Oscar night has gotten here, is Everything Everywhere All at Once. And we can go to my screen on this if you'd like, Jonathan. But Everything Everywhere All at Once is now out there. And it has been out. Here's the thing. It's been out and available on VOD for 7 months. It's been out and available for people to watch for 7 months. And as is the case, after time and time, the price comes down on it. You know, it's as all of them do. They come out being, you got to pay $19.99 to get it, right? Then it goes down like $7.99, then $5.99, then $3.99. But what has happened here is Everything All Everywhere All at Once did 2 things. Number 1, it jumped up huge on the charts with all the nominations. And number 2, as we're going to go down and take a look at here, they actually re-increased their prices. We'll go down to the Google Play list here. They re-increased their prices back up to $19.99. Now, IndieWire is saying this is unprecedented. They haven't seen this happen before. And while they took it, I think it was down to $5.99 or something like that, they boost the price back up and it's still climbed. Look at the only films in front of it. Top Gun Maverick, which is only $4.99. Puss in Boots, which is relatively a new release in 1999, and Megan, which is a new release at 1999. And then you've got Everything Everywhere All at Once. And even after it, it's a $3.99 for The Menu, a $3.99 for Knives Out, a $5.99, even though Knives Out is on Netflix, $5.99 for Black Panther, $5.99 for Tar. Everything Everywhere All at Once goes up to $19.99 and still climbs the chart. As we go up and look at the iTunes listing, it's in at number 6 right now. Again, the only other films at $19.99 that it trails on the iTunes listing is Megan and Puss in Boots, which are in its opening window. They're just relatively new to the whole platform. That's remarkable. So the question they ask is, why is Everything Everywhere All at Once, which not even a ton of people saw in theaters? I mean, it's the biggest box office hit for A24 ever. But for A24 is a very low standard when it comes to box office numbers. It made like $100 million, something like that, at the box office. Why is this one? Because nobody saw it in theaters. That's why. Because nobody saw this thing when it was actually in theater. I mean, obviously some people did, made $100 million. But compared to other movies that are making 400, 500, 800, $1 billion, this thing made a finite amount of money, which means not a lot of people saw it, but the word of mouth has been going around. And I think probably for a lot of people, wait a minute, what's this movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once? It's got like, what was it, 11 nominations. It led the pack with most nominations at the Academy Awards, with 11 nominations, including Best Picture, and it's considered one of the front runners to win. Michelle Yeoh, I mean, it's going to go to Cate Blanchett, but Michelle Yeoh is considered one of the other major front runners to win that as well. Ke Huy Quan has been winning all the awards for Best Supporting Actor everywhere he turns. I mean, so I think it's a mixture of the fact that it got so many award nominations, combined with the fact that so few people had actually seen it before, that it is really elevated, and word of mouth. So I think when you combine those 3 things, you get the perfect storm. And that's why you're seeing this movie that has already been out for 7 months on VOD can triple its price and still climb way high up on the charts. It's kind of remarkable. Anyway, Chris, you see this. Why do you think this movie's been able to be so successful on VOD?
I mean, no one will shut up about it. We all love this movie. For the most part, I think everyone really, really loves this movie. And for anyone who was on the fence, too, after getting all these accolades, seeing all these awards being consistently won by this team, getting these Oscar nominations and everything, if you hadn't seen this yet, and now it's on VOD, you're going to do it because you want to be able to have that water cooler moment. You want to be part of the zeitgeist. So I think it's really smart of them to crank up that price, right? You're creating a scarcity in the market sometimes, right? You got to up those prices to get people to buy things. I like it.
Rob, what do you make of this?
Same thing. I mean, I think it's great that it ain't show friends, it's show business. And if you've got a product that suddenly is increased in value, you know what it is? You've got a commodity that in a way you could call it scarce, even though this isn't scarce because it's available online. But it was also a movie that people just didn't know about. Most people had never heard of it. Not only had they not seen it, they'd never heard of it. And now suddenly they're hearing about it and their friends are talking about it. Crank up, cash in. That's what nowadays, the other Oscar movies, normally an Oscar campaign or Oscar nominations would mean big box office, at least for a while, for those nominated movies.
Yes.
That has not happened this year. The movies did not get a theatrical box office bump the way that normally happens by a wide margin. So I think what they're doing is incredibly smart. Good for A24. And good, I hope the filmmakers get those quarterly reports and get the money you're owed, filmmakers, because distributors, they're not so good at making sure you get paid. Just saying.
All right, guys. What do you think about this? Everything Everywhere All at Once was able to re-up their prices to a new release price. Even though it'd been out for 7 months, it's way up high on the charts already. Were you one of those people that saw the Oscar nominations and said, you know what, I better check this damn thing out? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Fume. Be smart. Don't start. Kick the habit. Put it out before it puts you out. All phrases we've heard 100 times, and yet we still continue to have bad habits. Today's sponsor, Fume, is on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffusive device that uses plants and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habit for a positive one. You see, Fume is not a vape. It's a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits. Because instead of pods filled with potentially harmful chemicals like a vape, Fume uses cores infused with plants like peppermint and cinnamon for delicious natural flavors. And Fume's new version 2 model is snappy and tactile. With an adjustable airflow dial and a magnetic end cap, your fingers will always have something to do. The device itself is really attractive, and once I popped in the core and took my first inhale of it, it tasted fantastic. Guys, the easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one, and Fume is designed to perfectly do just that. So head over to tryfume.com and use the promo code Campea to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. The Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors and the new version 2 Fume to help kickstart your positive habits. That's tryfume, tryfum.com, and use the code Campea to save an additional 10% off your order today.